Anybody notice a ton of unenrollments in OutSchool this week? You are not alone. Today I'm going to explain why you're seeing all of those unenrollments or cancellations, maybe a decrease in your student body, as well as what you can do to get your bookings back up. And I'm going to tell you right now, this past week, even though I've had so many cancellations and unenrollments, this past week has actually been my best week on OutSchool yet. So just because you're getting a lot of unenrollments does not mean that you cannot be successful. Welcome back to my channel, guys. If it's your very first time, welcome to my channel for the very first time. If you're new here, this channel focuses on growing your online teaching business as an independent contractor. Make sure you click subscribe and hit that bell notification so you don't miss anything. Okay, so you've probably noticed a decrease in your enrollments for students, as well as students dropping out or canceling over the past week or so. You probably already know how to do this, but just in case you don't, I'm just gonna go over it really quick. Every time a student unenrolls from a class, OutSchool is going to send you an email. And a lot of times the parents are going to put the reasons on there. A couple weeks ago it was spring break, so a lot of people were taking off for spring break and they were unenrolling for classes because of Easter vacation. And right now the trending reason for unenrolling is it actually has to do with COVID. So right now a lot of the schools are opening back up. So where students were only going to school 2 days a week, maybe they're going to school 4 days a week, and a lot of students are going back to school 5 days a week. These kids were doing their online classes with their public schools, and then their parents were supplementing their online education with OutSchool classes. They don't have time anymore because now they're in traditional school, like they're actually in their classes in their physical classroom. So they can't come to you because they're already with their teacher. Okay, so that's not going to affect your students that are just mainly homeschool students, but it is going to affect your students that are public school students that are going back to school. And you might be seeing a decrease in enrollments or an increase in unenrollments because of this. And I know that probably scares you. You might be worried about your classes being filled. You might be concerned about your income dropping. I've got this is Chinese for 6. Sorry, I've got 6 different things that you can do to help get your enrollments back up. It's not going to affect the unenrollments so much. Maybe you'll get some transfers out of it, but it is going to help you more with your new enrollments. So number 1, experiment with times. So a lot of times the parents still want their kid in your class. Maybe you're a really good teacher and you've really been helping them build their math skills or their English skills or learn that second language or whatever it is that you're teaching them on OutSchool. And they still want to take their class, but it's just not possible because their school schedule changed. I would recommend to experiment with your schedule a little bit if that's possible or reasonable for you to do. Try some hours that would fit with like your after school time hours, and also make sure that you take a look at the peak hour chart. Okay, number 2, ongoing classes. If you don't already have weekly ongoing classes on your schedule, get some there. I'm going to swear by ongoing classes. I love them. I love seeing the same students every single week. I love it. If you have a one-time class, that student you're going to see one time and then they're going to fall off the map. Sometimes they might come into another class, but you really want to make sure you have an ongoing option so that you can teach the same students every single week. So if you have a crocheting class, just for example, if you have a crocheting class and you're teaching one time how to make a granny square, I think that's a crochet thing, it's been a while. Maybe that's something that you could incorporate into a weekly class. So like this week we're going to teach you how to do this in this pattern, and then this week we'll teach you this, and like every week you'll have a new skill that you teach, and it's an ongoing class. They meet with you every week. It's much easier to build a relationship with one student and keep them in your class than it is to get a new student for every time that you make a one-time class. All right, number 3, experiment with classes. Once you have one popular class, you might find that you're teaching the same exact class multiple times a week. I think, what do I teach? I think I teach the one class like 30 times a week. If you have that one class that is super popular, roll with it. But you should also experiment with different classes too. Sit down, just do a brainstorming session on different classes that you might want to teach. I also recommend to keep like a notepad next to you. So if you, anytime you're anywhere, if you ever have like an idea of a class, you can jot it down and then you're not going to forget it later, because sometimes they are going to come to you at the most inopportune times And it's really nice if you're either put it in your phone, write it in your notepad, always like be ready, because those classes might come to you spur of the moment when you're not even expecting it. And I want you to remember that not every class is going to be a hit. You might make one class that you think is absolutely phenomenal and it just doesn't take off. Don't let that stop you. You can't give up or consider it a lost cause just because you had 1 or 2 classes that didn't go anywhere. Okay, number 4. And I gotta apologize, I have alopecia and my hair is growing back and it looks like it's not brushed, but this is just like that fun regrowth that you get when you have, you know, alopecia. Nothing I can do about it. Number 4, experiment with different class types. If you only have one type of class, if you only have like a one-time class, then try to add some camps, add some ongoing classes, add some flex classes. Try to add different kinds of classes. Number 5, upgrade your profile. Remember, your profile, like your teacher profile, that's like your virtual business card for Outschool parents and students. So go ahead and take a look at your profile. Maybe you can update your profile picture. Maybe your bio can be improved. Maybe you can make your intro video a little bit better. Anytime that you're not getting the bookings that you want to get, this is always going to be my go-to, is go to your profile. Number 6. Upgrade your listings. Same thing as with the profile, right? So I want you to imagine you're a parent and you're going through and you're looking for a music theory lesson and you're scrolling through music theory, boom, 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 boom. And you're basically window shopping at this point in time. So the better each listing is, the higher chances it's going to have to succeed. If you're not getting the bookings that you want, go ahead and upgrade. Just see what can be improved on each listing for the classes. If you don't have an intro video, add an intro video. This is the first time that a lot of parents are getting to see you when they're scrolling through. As a parent, I do watch the intro videos to see if I kind of like vibe with the teacher. Like, does this teacher seem like somebody I want teaching my kids? In recent weeks, Outschool has actually added something to the class listing page. And this is called the learner summary. So basically you've got like the class summary that goes to the parents. You also have the learner summary, and this is actually geared for the students. You're going to write it in student-focused language. So if you are teaching 10-year-olds, you're going to read it like you would be speaking to a 10-year-old. Not only is this really good to like get the attention of students that might be looking for classes that they want to take, but it's also good for the parents too, because your one summary is probably going to be more professional and put together, and your other summary is a more relaxed. So you've kind of got 2 different ways of explaining it. All in all, even though there are a lot of cancellations right now, things are kind of changing because they're hopefully going back to normal. Fingers crossed. Too much to hope for that? I mean, it's been like over a year, so kind of hoping that we can hope for that. But even though there are changes in enrollments, that doesn't mean that your business is going away. It doesn't mean that your income has to drop. There are still things that you can do. And if you're at the point right now where you're not getting the bookings that you want, these are the 6 things that I highly recommend doing. All right, guys, keep going. You got this. I got faith in you. If you have any questions, drop them in the comment section below, and I will see you guys all very, very soon.